Hey, hi everyone. Good morning to Sri Software Solutions. Welcome back. So, I hope you all remember whatever we have completed in our last sessions, right? So, in our last session, we have completed. There are some certain kind of rules that we need to follow while working with cast operator. Yes or no? Yes. So, what is the class cast exceptions? How we can avoid that class cast exceptions, right? So, what is the instance of operators? How we can go for instance of operator, and when instance of operator we are going to use in our classes to avoid that class cast exceptions. Those things we have completed in our last sessions, correct? So today we'll see there are some certain kind of rules that we need to follow while using instance of operators, right? So now we'll see what are those rules and what we need to follow during while we are using instance of operators. Okay, so here we can write what, yeah, tell me. Rules for rules rules what of instance of rules of instance of operator. Clear? Yes. So now we can write something like this. Suppose source variable type and class name type should have is a relationship, is a is a relations, else compiler will throw error. Compiler will. So same thing we have completed in our last sessions, yesterday sessions. Yes or no? Compiler will throw error. It will. There should be is a relationship. There should be inheritance concept, and that source variable type that should match with, that should be the part of what, the class name. We'll see one example as well. Don't worry. Errors. Okay. So what is that error? Compiler will throw error in convertible types. Yes or no? If the object coming from referenced variable, if the object we can say is from referenced variable, it's same as it's same class or subclass. Okay, same class object or subclass object, then instance of operator return true. Yes or no? Just in our above example we have completed that one. If it will be the type of, if that subclass type or superclass type, so it will, then it will return true, or else it will return false, right? True. Then if it is superclass, if it is superclass or sibling type object, instance of operator return false. If it will be siblings, not means you can say, suppose in our applications if you'll see, this is the object and this is the d is nothing but what, d is nothing but type of object. Yes, d is nothing but type of object. Why? Because by default all the classes are the type of object class, because object is by default what, superclass for all classes. So now we can say these are siblings, correct? But means this is the superclass. So in this situations you can see we have seen here, it will be returning false. In our edit plus applications you can see, if we'll not using this instance of operators, it will return false here. Yes or no? It will return false. That means it will be the superclass type. Correct. Yes. So here, what we'll do? What we'll do? We'll show you some applications. Okay. We'll show you some programs. We'll see here some programs. So just tell me what is true or what is false. Okay. Just tell me what is true and what is false. Hey, come on. What is true or what is false? Right. Suppose we'll write a diagram over here. Suppose This one is the diagram. Okay, yes, yes, yeah, this is the diagram. We can say object. This is nothing but object. Okay, here this is nothing but object, and this is A, this is B, this is what see, tell me. This is C, we'll write here, and this is D, this is D. Okay, yes, here this one came here, and this one, then this one. Okay, now we can say this A class extend from object. This is A, this is D, this is A, and this is D. Okay, yes, we can write something like this. This is A, this is B, and this is C, this is C, and this is D. Okay, so here we'll write one program. Here we'll write one program. What is this? Just tell me the output. What will be the output from below program? Okay, a is equal to new b. A is equal to new b. Then if we'll write system.out.println, system.out.println. Okay, inside this system.out.println we can write a instance of object. What will be the output? Tell me. So we'll see all these things in the single program. We'll see all these things in the single program. Okay, suppose here this one is A and this one is B. We can assume these things. Okay, this is the test class, and we can remove all these things, or else yeah, you can remove all these things. Or you want me to create separate class? You want me to create separate class? Okay, we will create one separate class. Okay, we'll create one separate class. How we can create? New Java applications. Clear? Test1. We can write something like this, and we can choose our path folder where we can store the applications. Okay, here we can our programs, we can choose our programs here. Okay, okay, here, yes, this is the suppose test. We can write the class name as test11, and let's assume public class. Why we are taking as public? Because we are going to create multiple classes inside the same file. So which the file name should be same as the class name, and which name we are going to save, that class name should be public. So here we can create another class A. Okay, then one more class B. Yes or no? Class B. This is the class B. Inside this, what we can save? Inside this test, we can save the class name as test11. Suppose test11. Can we copy paste these things? Can we copy paste these things inside the main method? Yes or no? A instance of A is nothing but we need to create the object. First we need to create the object inside the main method. Yes or no? Here we are creating the object. Now we are, tell me, what is the output from this program? It will be instance of means it will return true or false, right? So what will be the output from this program? Tell me. If you'll execute these applications, okay, compilation will, here it is showing incompatible type B cannot converted to A. Okay, B cannot converted to type A. Why it is saying? Tell me, why we cannot incompatible type immediately it is throwing? Because see, we are following inheritance concept. Yes or no? So is there any relations between B and A? No, right? Then how come we can store this B class object inside A class? Correct. Then how come we can store that B object inside a variable? It is not possible. But if we'll be extending that one, extends keyword if we'll use, then it is possible. So then if we'll be execute these applications without extending, then it will be return compile time error. Yes or no? By saying incompatible type. Yes or no? Now we can use class B extends A. What will happen? Tell me. Now compilation is success or not? You can see compilation, our compilation is getting success or not. Now run the applications. What it is returning? True. That means yes, it is saying a instance of object. Object is the superclass, A is the subclass, right? That means this condition is true. So if we use extends keyword, then it will be true. If we'll use extends keyword, that means now B become the part of A. Correct. Now B become the part of A. So here we can assume, like, since instance of operator we are going to use, there should be is a relationship. Now here is a relationship concept we are applying in our applications. Yes or no? Yes. Now one more statement we will put here. What is that? Just tell me the output. Okay. I just wanted to see what is your understanding on this. Now tell me. We'll remove this one. Okay, we'll remove this one. Then a instance of a. Tell me, it is true or false? What will be the output? Let's compile. Compilation is successful or not? Let's run the applications. It is also returning true. Why it is returning true? Yes, obviously, because a is the object of a, na? Correct. Instance of is nothing but we are asking, is a the a is nothing but a variable. If is this variable is an object of this class, we are asking these things, is this variable object of this class? What is the output? True, right? Because this is correct only. A is variable is the instance of object of capital A, right? Then A is instance of B. Now we'll see A is instance of B. Yes or no? Tell me the output. What will be the output? Yes. Let's compile and let's run the applications. I'm using the shortcut key Control 1 and Control T in Control 2. In our previous sessions, I show you how to set up that compiler and JVM in our edit process, right? You can follow those videos. So true and true. Why it is returning true? Because yes, of course, like B is nothing but a class and A is nothing but a variable. So this variable is part of B or not? Yes, because anyway B is the subclass, A is the superclass. Definitely B will be containing all the behaviors of A, right? That means this will be also true. Now what we can tell? Like, suppose we can write some more class. Okay, we can write some more class. Which class? This class we can take, class D. This class, suppose one more class we can take, class C. Okay, and class D. Clear? Suppose you are taking two more classes here, and here system.out.println a instance of C. Here we can put C. A instance of C. Same problem will get or not? A instance of C. Clear? A instance of C. What will get? Same compile time error. Yes or no? By saying incompatible type A cannot be converted to C. Okay. Now suppose we can extend this extends B. See, we are not if there is a C class, we are not extending that from A. Instead of, we are extending from B class, right? Now tell me what will be the output. A instance of C. Yes or no? Let's see. continue, compilation is successful. Then control 2, what is coming, here? False. Why it is showing as false? Tell me. Why? Now also you can ask the same question, sir, why it is returning as false? It should return true, right? It should return true. Why it is not returning as false? Then from your perspective, from your thinking side, I can tell you one question. Okay, why you will tell this will come as true? Why you will tell this will come as true? Now you can say, okay sir, this is a is the variable, instance of is the checking the object of C or not, right? So C is nothing but a class which extends from B, and indirectly B also extends from A. Then why can't this will become true, right? No, this will not become true. Why? Because we are storing the B class object inside A. We may be using extends keyword, we may be using inheritance concept, but anyway we are extending this C class from B class, not from A class, right? So indirectly this C also extended from A only. Okay, indirectly this C also extends from A only, but here we have not mentioned anything. So that means, can you say like this C class can able to contain all the behaviors of A or not? Tell me. The C class can able to contain the behaviors of A or not? No, because this A contains the object. In the A variable, which object we are storing? We are storing the B class object. Correct. We are storing the B class object. Because of that, it will return false. That means it is JVM is saying A is the variable which is not object of C, because we have stored B class object inside A. Clear? Okay, next. Then you can tell me A, suppose we'll create one more object. Okay, here we'll create one more object. Object obj is equal to new B. Can you create like this? Object obj will be, then here can we create something like this? Can we create something like this? A instance of object. So here already you have mentioned this will be A instance of object. It will be returning true anyway. Yes or no? It will be returning true anyway. Yes. Again, it will be returning true anyway. Now you can tell me the same questions. If we'll execute one more time, B. Okay. We copy and we will execute all these lines one more time. A instance of A instance of B, A instance of C. Okay, now we'll execute. Inside the object variable, we have stored this B. Then what will be the output? Tell me. Here, what we'll do? We'll give a space. Will for your understanding, we can put something like this. Okay, we will separate. Now tell me, what will be the output? Why it is showing error system.out.println? We forgot to put our semicolon. Okay. Now tell me, what will be the output? See, same output is coming or not? Same output will be coming. Still we are using object obj is equal to new B inside object. Okay. So here it is returning the same only. Okay. There will be no changes. There will be no changes. Correct. So this program you can type in your applications in your system, and you can, for your better knowledge or for your better clarifications, you can type this program in your applications. So then if we'll see, we'll copy paste these things. Clear? We'll copy paste these things and we'll put in our application. You can check this one. Yes or no? Yes. Now we'll see, we already have completed upcasting and downcasting. Okay, then we can ask one question, sir. In project level, suppose we are working in some kind of project, when should we implement upcasting and when should we go for downcasting? Okay, upcasting and downcasting. Suppose, when should we go for upcasting and downcasting? So what is the proper way, and what is the proper situations we can follow upcasting, and what is the proper situations we can follow downcasting? So these are there are some certain places. Okay, already now if you'll see, assume our previous classes, you also can get to know, right? So if you'll analyze those statements or whatever we have completed, you can able to get to know, right? But still, let me tell you here, when we should implement upcasting and downcasting in project. Need of upcasting in projects. Upcasting is implemented to develop loosely coupled runtime polymorphic applications. Okay, so loosely coupled runtime polymorphic applications. So I hope you know what is the polymorphism and other things, correct? So we will see in next concept, in the next, while we'll be going for object oriented programming, what is inheritance. So those things we are going to see. Okay, same, inheritance is nothing but what, that extend keyword and implement keyword, those things day by day we are going to complete. So runtime polymorphic applications means to store all subclasses object into a single reference variable. Single reference variable. Yes or no? Hey, come on. Getting my point? Referenced variable. And further to execute the invoked method from different subclass. Based on the object that stored in the referenced variable. Based on the object that is stored in the referenced variable, right? So for better understanding, while we will be going for our oops chapter, okay, oops, object oriented programming, okay, in that oops chapter we'll see the whole about upcastings. Oops chapter, you can, while, so after some days we are going to see our what is the object oriented programming. There you will be able to understand very well what is the upcasting and downcasting. I hope now also you will little bit somehow you have cleared, right? So these things now we'll see just will some limitations are there, okay, some problem is with there, limitations in upcasting. Okay, limitations in upcasting. What are the limitations are there in upcasting? Okay, in upcasting, during upcasting, compiler will allow us to invoke only superclass member. Now just now I told you, right? Superclass members. We can't invoke. We'll see one more program also. Okay, don't worry. Superclass. We cannot invoke subclass specific members with superclass type variable. If we'll do such like this, it leads to compilation error by saying cannot find symbol. Now we got this error or not? Why? Because what is the issue? Because compiler checks only variable type but not object stored stored in superclass reference variable. Superclass reference variable. Let's go and watch one program. Okay, let's go and watch one program. Here, same here we'll see. Same here we'll see. Or you want me to create separate class? Okay, we'll create one separate class. Java class test 11 already we have taken 12, suppose. Okay, we can make this class as public. Here we'll take another class example. Inside the class void m1, we'll be taking one method void m1. Okay, void m1. This is nothing but the method. Method is nothing but the member of this class. Each method and variable, whatever we are declaring inside a class, those will be the member for that class. Void m1 we have taken. Suppose we can take this print statement, copy, and we can paste it here. Instead of writing, why we should write? We can copy paste, right? So here we can print m1 method. Correct. Now we can take another class sample extends examples, means we are taking another class by extending from this one. Here we can take another method. We can copy paste this one and we'll just change the name. We'll be taking, suppose this is the m2 method, and we can write something like this, m2 method. Okay, now we can save the applications test 1 2. Okay, now inside this main method we'll do something. What? Let me create example e is equal to new sample. That means in superclass reference we are storing the subclass variable. Yes or no? Superclass example is the superclass, sample is the subclass. Inside the superclass variable we are storing the subclass object. Okay, that means this superclass reference contains a subclass object, you can say, right? Now can you tell me e dot m1? Now by using e class we are calling the m1 method. If you see our point, what we have mentioned, will allow us to, it will allow us to call invoke means nothing but method call only superclass member. Okay, we cannot invoke subclass specific member. Subclass specific member means what? This is the subclass specific member. m2 is the method available inside the sample class, which is nothing but the subclass, for example. And we are going to call this m2 method by using by using superclass reference. What will happen? It is saying superclass member we can call, we can invoke superclass in means whatever members will be there, but we cannot invoke subclass members. Okay, now let's see what is happening. Can we compile the applications? Let's see. Compilation successful. Now run the applications. m1 method is getting called or not? See here, m1 method is coming or not? Hey, able to understand, right? m1 method is coming here or not? Yes, because we are calling the m1 method by using e. E is nothing but the type of example. So JVM will search, is there any m1 method available inside e? Yes or no? So now JVM can able to come here, and immediately this is the example class. Okay, JVM will search, is there any m1 method available inside the example class or not? Now JVM find it, yes, true, that there is a m1 method available inside the example class. Okay, now this will execute and this will return this statement. Then what will be the output here? Immediately it will return m1 method. Now by using this one, we can we call this method? Can we call this method? It leads what? Tell me. It will leads compile time error. What it is saying? Cannot find symbol. Cannot find symbol. Why it is showing cannot find symbol? Because this m2 method is getting stored in here subclass, not inside the superclass. So you can ask one question, sir, might be this m2 is a method available inside the sample class, but here sample class object getting stored here na. That is the reason, that is the limitations with upcasting that we are trying to see. What is the limitations with upcasting? Still the sample class object is stored inside the referenced variable, here example reference variable, but still we cannot able to call this m2 method by using this superclass reference. Yes or no? This is the limitations. Okay, this is the limitations. So here immediately it will throw error by saying incompatible type, cannot find symbol. That means there is no m2 method available inside the what? Inside the example class. Understand or not? Getting my point? Yes or no? Clear, right? Okay. Now we'll see what is downcasting. What is the problem with downcasting? Okay. What is the problem with downcasting? Downcasting. If we'll see, suppose when should, what is the limitations are there with downcasting? So here, can we copy paste this program here? We can copy and we can paste it for your better understanding. We can take it here, copy, and here we can paste. We can decrease the size and we can paste it here. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Now next we can see problem with downcasting. Okay, now you can see problem with downcasting. What is the limitations are there for downcasting? What is the limitations? Or we can now we can see we completed the upcasting successfully, right? We completed the upcasting successfully. Now we'll see what is downcasting and how we can in code base, in program wise, we will see the downcasting. What is the meaning of downcasting? Okay, we'll see some program. Need of downcasting. Need of downcasting. Need of, what is the use of downcasting? When we can go for the downcasting, we should implement downcasting to invoke subclass specific members. Now you can analyze, now you can assume, right? So here we face some certain kind of problem. Why? Because we are unable to call this method of m2 which is there in subclass. So to rectify these issues, to get rid from these issues, downcasting came into picture. Based on the downcasting, we can call the subclass specific members, because when we store subclass, when we store subclass object in superclass referenced variable, we can't invoke that subclass specific member using superclass referenced variable. Superclass referenced variable. In the above example, we can mention in the above example, in test class, we must implement downcasting. downcasting to call m2 method. Yes or no? m2 method from sample class. Okay, so here we'll see the program. What is the program? Here we have copy paste all these things and just only program will type. Okay, just program only will type, and we can reduce the size like this. Tell me here how we can call this for application, how we can downcast. How we can downcast? Something like this. Here we have created example e is equal to new sample e dot m1, right? Now to call this method, here we can create one more object. What is this? Sample s is equal to, see, this is the downcasting sample. Yes, tell me. Sample, what is that? Sample s is equal to, we can store that e values and we can convert that e values to sample. We'll see in program also. Okay, don't worry, we'll see in program the same thing. We'll execute in program level also. Now now we can call, this is the downcasting. Okay, now we can execute this method or not. Suppose this is m2 and we can write one method, create one object s is equal to e. Okay, employee means that example object, right? Example object, what is this? This is nothing but the parent class, and we want to store that parent class inside the subclass. So for now we can comment out this line and we can compile will happen successfully or not? Yes, here compilation is happening or not? Yes. How it is happening? You can ask one question, sir, this is the subclass and this is the superclass. How we can store superclass object, this is the superclass object inside the subclass reference, right? Yes, this is the downcasting. First we are storing, this superclass object we are converting of type sample. Okay, first this e will convert to sample type, then it will be storing inside the s. Yes or no? Now if we'll call, instead of this e, now we can call it s dot m2. S dot m2, that means now e value is getting stored in some s reference, because first e is getting converted to sample type, then it is stored inside the s. Now if we'll call this s dot m2, it will execute or not? It will first compile. Yes, then m2 method is coming or not? Yes. So there is some another way also available. What we can do, there are some another ways. This is the another way. What is that? Directly, instead of writing, this is option 1, we can write. This is option 1. This is option 1, we can write. Any other ways that we can do downcasting? Tell me. Any other way we can do downcasting? Yes, we can. Suppose same like this, we'll copy paste this one. Okay, we'll copy paste. So now we'll call this by using, tell me. We call this directly by using e. How we can call this? By using e dot m2 method. See, m2 method is available inside the sample class, but we are calling this m2 method by using e variable. E is nothing but the superclass reference, right? So this superclass reference contains a subclass object. Yes or no? So before calling, if we'll execute the same program, we'll get again the cannot find symbol or not? Yes, we are getting cannot find symbol. Now can we convert this superclass reference to subclass? How we can convert? Simple. Before the calling the method, we can write something like this. Sample e means we are converting this e to sample class. Overally we can make them inside a bracket. Okay, overally, not this one, overally we can this. Means first we are converting this e to sample type. Same thing we are doing before calling the method. Just that's it. Means instead of taking this object calling the method directly by using this one, we are calling the method. Will it be execute or not? Tell me. Will it be execute or not? Yes, compilation is successful, run also successful. It is coming into method. Okay, then here there might be a chance we can get the, this is the option 2. This is the option 2. There here there might be chance, there might be chance to get class cast exceptions. So what we can do that avoid, to avoid that class cast exceptions, what we need to do, we need to write the instance of operators. We need to use here the instance of operators. If instance of sample, if instance of sample, then we can create something like this. Are you able to understand or not? Here if instance of instance of sample, then we can create some one more object, something like this, s2, and where that storing that value, then s2 dot m2 method. This will also execute or not? Let's compile. Yes, yes, coming or not? M2 method is coming again or not? Yes. Now what exactly it will check? JVM will check e is instance of sample. E is nothing but the example. It is instance of sample. Yes, if this condition is true, means it is instance of sample. Yes, means because e contains sample class object, so it is the condition is returning as true. Since the condition is returning as true, it is JVM is coming inside. Now it is converting the two downcastings. So it is storing that, converting that e type to sample type and storing that inside the sample variable. Now we successfully stored that e object into s2 reference. Means s2 is nothing but sample reference, right? Yes or no? Yes. Here one more type is there. Okay, one more type is there, I'll tell you. This is after Java 16 plus. This feature you can get after Java 16 feature plus. Okay, if e instance of if e instance of what, sample s3, sample s3, that means inside the if clause directly we are taking a class and variable. See, previously what we have taken, instance of sample, only class name we have taken. Otherwise we can take variable also. Okay, variable also, if s also we can take something like this. But in after Java 16, with this pattern, like we can say directly we can use instance of operators along with class and variable as well. Okay, along with class and variable as well. So if we'll write like this, we no need to s3 dot m2 method, s3 dot m2 method. See, it will compile or not? Compilation is successful. Again it is calling the m2 method or not? See, we after Java 16 plus, okay, we no need to do this downcasting here. Directly we can downcast here inside the if clause. If e instance of sample s3, that means this is, we are at a time we are means it is nothing but we can say this concept, what we can call this concept, Java 16 plus pattern matching. Okay, pattern matching for instance of, pattern matching for instance of. Okay, so while we will be taking that if statement, and inside this there is a concept, so automatically for instance of operator it is the pattern is getting matched, the pattern is getting matched. Okay, this is the feature has been added above Java 16. So if you have in your system You have installed Java 16 plus, Java 21, Java 17, Java 25, so that you can use this feature. Able to understand? Clear? Can we put this program over here in our applications? Here in our applications we can put our program. Yes or no? Yes. Here we will be converting that to 8 and we will be putting. Clear? This is our applications after Java 16. So pattern matching for instant. This program you can practice in your applications. This program if you can practice in your applications. Able to understand my point? Now what we can do? What we'll see some programs. Just tell me what will be the output from that program. Okay, just tell me what will be the output from that program. Okay, just tell me what will be the output from the program. Just one program we'll see. Test. Let's create another program. File, new, Java. Okay, file, new, Java. What we'll do? Let's take an example. Test 13. Okay, we can make this class as public. Why? Because we're going to save this class as test 13. Yes or no? Test 13 class example. Okay, inside this let's create one method, void m1. Void m1 is the method. Okay, void m1 is the method. Then dot out dot println, system dot out dot println, we can print something like this m1. Tell me method m1. Okay, same thing we can create one class, sample extends. Same class we can take, but some different way we can write. Okay, extends example. So to make you clear, I am taking the same example with different values. Okay, now void m2. Okay, void m2. Now same system.println void m2 method. Okay, m method we can write like this method m2. This is the m1 method, this is the m2 method, this is example class, this is sample class. Okay, now we can write another method. Okay, class test same applications. Okay, this is the test 13. Inside this we'll take one more method. Suppose inside this test class we'll take one more method, that is nothing but m3 method, and this is our method m3. Now we'll see if we'll call okay, inside the m3 method what we can do, we'll be calling what tell me. Inside the m3 method argument we can pass example e. Can we call this one by calling the method e dot m1 e dot m2? Can we call this method? We cannot call. Same issue will be getting. Yes or no? Same issue will be getting. So here you will see e dot m1 and e dot m2 void m3. This is the method, nothing but method, and we are just passing this example as the method argument, and by using that method argument we are calling this m1 method and m2 method. But exactly where is this e? Tell me, where is this e? First we need to call this m3 method inside our main method or not? Yes. So let's call the main method. Okay. Test dot. So by using this class name, we can call this. This is a non-static method. Okay. Make them as static. Why I change this to static? Because just by using the class name directly, we can call the method m3. Okay. Like this. Test 13 dot m3 method. Okay, here inside the m3 method, can see example is the superclass. Can we that means when we are calling this m3 method, we need to pass an argument, right? Because there is an method argument example type is there, we need to pass an example type. Can we pass like this, new sample? So that means same thing is this program, same thing is happening or not? We are storing the sample class object. We are storing this sample class inside E, right? We are storing the sample class inside E. Same like this, but a different manner. We are storing the sample class object inside E. Clear? So now JVM will call e.m1, e.m2. So m1 method will execute fine, but m2 method again same issue, cannot find symbol like last time. Yes or no? Yes. See, semicolon expected. Where we have done mistake? Where we have done mistake? Here. So again we will get the same issues. Compilation will fail. Cannot find symbol. Where e.m2? Yes or no? E.m2. Same like this. But let's comment out this line. Okay. Let's comment out this line, and instead of this example, can we pass example here? Example here. Tell me, if you pass example, then what will happen? It is asking cannot find symbol. Why? Now e dot m2 method. Even though we are passing the example type, it is not able to call this one. Still, we are facing the same issues. Yes or no? Still, we are facing the same issues like previous example, like previous examples. Clear? Like previous examples. So now what we can do here? Now what we can do? Instead of this, what we can do, we can write one logic inside this new example. Inside this we can write logic. Okay, so first m1 will call. Okay, if we'll be passing this one, m1 will call fine. M1, there will not be any issues to call with m1, right? Now let's uncomment this line. Here we can use if same code, instance of instance of sample, instance of sample, then sample s is equal to that we can store, and we can convert this to sample. Clear? And we can call this now s dot m2. Let's close the statement and call. Compile the applications. Compilation is happening or not? M1 M2 method is getting called or not? Yes. Same way. Let's comment out this line. Okay, let's comment out this line. This is multi-line comment. I hope you remember. Correct? I hope. No, not this one. Not whole line. Not whole line comment. We can comment only this one. No, okay, we'll do one thing. We'll comment whole line and we'll do it again here. Let's copy paste. That Java 16 plus will try. Okay, Java 16 plus, it looks like interesting, right? So now if we can say if s instance of sample s3, suppose sample s3, now directly call this s3 method. These lines are not required. Yes or no? S dot m2 method. This will compile or not? It is showing illegal. Public static void means illegal start of expressions. Where we have done mistake? Where we have done mistakes? If e instance of same thing, we can do Java 16 clause. s3 dot what where is that? s3 dot illegal startup expressions. Why here can we do like this? Illegal startup expressions. Why it is saying illegal public start environment? Okay, here new sample we are passing. Whenever we are calling this new sample, calling this m3 method, m3 we are passing sample if instance of s3 or s, we can here. Why it is not taking? It should take, it should take. Why it is not taking? Then s dot m2, why it is not taking? But if we'll be uncommenting this line, okay, why it is showing? Tell me why we are not able to illegal startup expressions it is saying? Tell me. We have start this if statement, but we have not closed the if statement. Now see, now see, its compilation is happening or not? Control 1 and control 2, here this is method 2 is coming, right? So this is nothing but Java 16 flaws features. So you can try out these applications in your applications, and for your better, for your better understanding. Like this you can modify many things here. How you can use your mind, how we can like convert this example to sample, to sample to example, create some more new classes. Like I have created example and sample, you can create some different classes and use them. Follow means from your side you can convert this one example to sample, sample to example, create multiple classes, do upcasting, do downcasting for your better understanding. Okay, then you will get to know more things about, more knowledge about this, all this upcasting and downcasting. So regarding this upcasting and downcasting, what we'll do, we will see more things. Means you will able to understand more about this upcasting and downcasting in inheritance concept. Okay, in inheritance concept, inside the inheritance concept we'll see how auto boxing, auto unboxing, all these things, how these things will be happening, right? So these things will be see in our inheritance concept. You can try out all these programs in your system for your better understanding. Any doubt anyone having till now? Immediately raise your hand. Anyone having any doubt, immediately raise your hand. You can follow this document whatever we are preparing. You can prepare your note and go ahead and learn properly to get rid, to get all the issues clarified fully in depth. So whatever doubts will be coming, how much you will practice, you will get very much clarified, you will get more doubts. Day by day you will be practicing this program. We tried here in our regular classes, I tried this once. So based on this you can compare some other programs, you can type multiple programs, then you can, means what we can say, you can enhance your coding skill. Because multiple you may face another problem, I faced one more problem, you may face some different problem. Just try to solve those problems while you are getting the problem. Why? So here illegal startup expressions comes now. Why that comes? Because illegal startup expressions mostly it will be coming when we unable to close any, we didn't close any kind of if clause, while block, this kind of thing. Okay, so this is illegal step. Like this you'll be getting multiple errors day by day, you will be practicing the applications. So check and practice well. If any doubt, raise your hand, raise your concern, I will be happy to help you. Okay, clear? So we'll be next session, we'll see some more points are there on this, like equality operators, auto boxing, auto unboxing. What are those things? Okay, so we'll see in our next concept. Then we'll go for our next chapter, that is nothing but accessibility modifier. So how we can go for accessibility modifier, those things we'll see. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Have a nice day.